All right, ladies and gentlemen, wondering if you guys missed me yet? Yeah, I've taken a number of days off. 3 days? So this is our first new video in a few days. I just wanted to give you a quick little update. We were in Las Vegas over the last few days. I ended up going to the Las Vegas Coin show. It's a very small and intimate show. Had a good time. Got to meet some of the dealers that I've met elsewhere. But overall, yeah, it was kind of nice. It was at the Tuscany Suites and Casino. Yeah, that's the name of it. So yeah, probably my last show for the year, and it was relatively quiet based off of what I've heard from the dealers. It's one of the smaller shows that not a lot of people know about. But overall, the activity that did happen there were a few large transactions that did take place. There were a few dealers buying gold. One person came in with a bunch of gold jewelry that ended up getting sold and appraised. Not appraised, but sold in general to a dealer. So there was some of that activity going on. But had a good time, and that's Las Vegas for you. So we got the Monday market report for the week ending October 8th, 2023 to kick off your week. This is dropping on a Sunday night, so October 8th. And all the activity you're going to see here today, courtesy of GreatCollections.com, probably one of the biggest coin auctions on the net today. Their market share continues to go up and up and up. They are trustworthy. They sell some of the biggest, just talk-worthy type coins. I guess that's the word for it. But overall, they do a really good job at the sales part of it. But also, if you're looking to add a really nice piece to your collection, I mean, that is the place to go. And the prices can be good, but at the same time, you might be in a bidding war against a few other people that want the same coin as you. So that's just the time of year that we're in. We're coming into the holidays here, and the market has been doing really well, so that's good to see. So I want to just say real quick, we have seen a little bit of a shift. Okay, so over the summer, we've seen a fair amount of what we call registry set coins. A lot of what we've seen has been that kind of like post-1950 era, but the market itself takes a look at coins from 1900 to the current date. But we've seen quite a bit of just some ultra-modern stuff that's sold for a lot of money over the summer. Now, we are back into what we call kind of like the collecting season, right? This is where we're going to have like your normal collectors that took the summer off. They are back, and they are collecting, all right, going into the holidays. And it's like this every single year. And this market report tells kind of like this full picture of what's going on right now. There's a lot of emphasis on some of the more classic moderns, all right? So what we call like the obsoletes, your Franklin half dollars, your Mercury dimes, Buffalo nickels, things that fall outside the range of what our modern coinage looks like in circulation today. And I'm telling you, it's not all key dates, guys. These are regular Joe Schmo dates, huge mintages. These coins have been doing extremely well on the secondary market. Our big feature coin today is one that I've talked about, where you don't need a readable date. This thing could be a low ball, no date whatsoever. And if you find the right one, it's worth thousands of dollars. We actually had one today, ladies and gentlemen, that's sold. So how can you tell the difference of what you have? I'm going to let you know. It's exciting stuff. But we're seeing this kind of like shift from the ultra-modern registry set type coinage over the summer. Now we are back in the fall season, and people are gravitating toward the type of coins that are, I guess, a little bit more solid in the marketplace. Coins that have more staying power, coins that over the course of X amount of years will continue to enhance in value, just based off of just the outgoing designs and things like that. So I'm glad to have you guys here. Let's go ahead and dive right in. We have 21 listings total for this week. This is probably one of two like ultra moderns that we're going to talk about today. We've seen a 1972 FS101 doubled diode obverse sold all throughout the year, right? I mean, we're pretty much set on seeing at least one or two of these being sold every week. That just speaks volumes to how common this particular variety is. But it also illustrates another thing about the market. This coin is extremely hot and desirable. There are people that want multiple pieces of this coin, and at the highest grade levels, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to fetch some supreme money. All right, so if you look at this coin, take a look at the devices. You're going to have just some of the craziest doubling on here, and the motto, the on Liberty, the date, things like that. Even on Lincoln's profile, his jacket, the front of his jacket where his bow tie is, lots of doubling there as well. I mean, this one right here, I could honestly say is one of a few major double to dies that you can see with the naked eye. All right, the 1955 is another great one as well. But this one right here, NGC graded Midstate 67 red. I want to say that this one is a real performer in the market. This one ended up selling for $2,306.25. Don't let the NGC graded slab fool you. In a PCGS slab in a 67, this type of coin generally commands anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000. So I guess consider this a more bargain version of some of those PCGS graded coins. But still, this is such a strong price for a coin that isn't even the top of its, I guess, grade, right? I think 68 is the highest grade of a 72 DDO FS101. And that is just spectacular. The next one that we have here, we don't have much in the way of like, common date registry set type coins. This one I would say you might as well fit into that bucket. 1947S, San Francisco minted Lincoln wheat cents. Typically don't suffer too much in the quality control department, all right? And it shows with coins like this. Now, this is not the finest grade of a 47S. I believe 68 is the finest for this one. And this one is a 67 plus red. It's also got a CAC green bean as well. But when you put everything together, this is a great kind of like tier 2 type coin for those registry sets that are dying for an upgrade. This one ended up selling for $1,802.16. Coming up here, as you can tell, we didn't have too much in the way of ultra moderns, all right? And this is one of those areas where we're seeing that shift in the marketplace. 1935S Lincoln wheat cent is such a, I guess, common date, but when it comes to such high premium grades like this one is a Midstate 67 red. San Francisco coins of the 30s, look pretty good. A lot of them are very well struck. They have above average luster. This one right here, no exception. Again, NGC graded this one, and we do have a number of coins this week graded by NGC. So again, another tier 2 coin. It's not the finest grade. So you're seeing a few of these coins drop on the list that aren't the finest graded, but these certainly represent what we call the safety net level type coins, right? If you can't get that top grade, you'd be okay with something like this. This one hammered at $1,183.50. It may not be the prettiest 67 red, but rest assured, these can be a little bit tough, especially if you're out there pounding the pavement looking for one. 1913D. Oh boy, now we're talking some serious scarcity here. Any of the Denver and San Francisco minted coins of the teens, oh boy, man, these things are a treasure hunt. If you're lucky enough to find one that's either in a different holder, that's undergraded, or we'll see, I don't know, maybe finding one raw somewhere in an old collection, the two seriously challenging ways of obtaining this coin if you're looking to do a serious upgrade and cashing in as a result. So this one, folks, a Midstate 66 plus full red, CAC certified, all courtesy of PCGS. They even has a true view if you wanted to check out their website. Type in the cert number. Man, this thing probably looks amazing. Again, when we're talking the teens, expect just above average quality. Strike is second to none. You know, you have really satiny surfaces on these coins. Sometimes they could trick you into believing that they're proof, but keep in mind they didn't make proof Denver coins during this time. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, is going to end up in some high-end collection somewhere. $13,500 was the final sale on this one. And, of course, you know, we don't talk about them too much, even though we know they're special. This is the key of keys for the Lincoln Cent series. 1909S VDB on the reverse, Lincoln Wheat Cent. Let's throw one of these in here and see where we're at market-wise. Now, this is a full brown specimen. All right, so this coin at one point was Midstate red, and it was stored somewhere to where it reacted to the copper of the coin, all right? Therefore, it oxidized to this pretty brown here. PCGS, old holder, Midstate 64 brown, really nice looking coin and a great collector level. $2,368.12 was your sale on this one. All right, now we're on to nickels. Nickels were a little bit better represented this week. Now, we're going to start it off with probably one of my favorites for the week. How about this really pretty kind of lilac colored 4060? It always seems to me that this particular date, we see a lot of really pretty toning in here. This one, NGC allowed a Midstate 68, 5 full steps grade on this one. And check out that little QA sticker there on the bottom right of that label. This is a gold QA stickered certification. Beautiful coin, and this one probably is going to end up in a registry set. It's that nice. $3,201.75 was their final auction sale tonight. Continuing on, now we have a good selection of Buffalo nickels, and this is probably the one section of the Monday Market Report where we see some of these more common dates making a huge impact in the market. And again, they're not necessarily the finest grades of these particular dates. All right, keep this in mind. If you're out there in the field, you're at coin shops, maybe you're attending a coin show, and you find one that is nice like this one is here, take a close look at it. You got to make sure it's got minimal nicks and contact marks, and you might have a shot at a 68 grade. It's a little bit easier than it sounds. Some say it's quite impossible to achieve this grade level, but 38D, these were saved in rolls and in droves when they were released. People understood that this was the final year of the Buffalo nickel design, and that's the big reason why that they were hoarded in such high states of preservation. Midstate 68, again, by NGC. Some would argue that NGC is a little bit better company to obtain a really nice lofty grade like this one. This one ended up selling for $1,831.24. I could only imagine what the same numerical grade would go for in a PCGS label. We've actually seen a few of them, and it's easily 2 to 3 times what this one sold for tonight. Here's a 37S. Now, again, it's San Francisco. Don't let that fool you. This is actually a coin that's very attainable raw. And I've seen a number of these out in the show circuit, and, you know, some of them actually come pretty nice toned. This one right here, NGC graded as a Midstate 67 plus. Totally agree with it. I don't see much in the way of anything distracting with the coin. And this one sold for $1,102.50. Now here's a 37. And I actually had someone that asked me, hey, Blue, how can you tell the difference between a regular uncirculated Buffalo nickel and one that's proof? Well, here is kind of like a little cheater coin. This one is a proof, a graded 66 by PCGS, but take a look at those last 3 letters, CAM. This one is actually a Cameo contrasted coin. We don't see a lot of those on the proof Buffalo nickels. They are just next to impossible to locate. So this one right here, probably not the best example to show you guys, but I wanted to comment that in order for you to have a good shot of a coin being a proof, maybe you cherry picked it from a dealer stock and they just didn't know that it was proof, is going to be in the fine details. The strikes on these compared to the business strike coins are hammered to the next degree. You could tell looking at this one compared to a regular uncoin, and they're like night and day. And when you hold one in your hand, they are just equally well crafted. They're sharp. The actual edges and rims are a little bit sharper than a standard 37 Unk. This one also is CAC certified, so it's no surprise that a Cameo coin like this sold for $9,000 tonight. I actually have seen them go a lot higher than that. God forbid you find a 67 Cameo or a 68. Wow, that will shoot it into the stratosphere. Here's a 31S. This is actually the second rarest date out of the entire series, and people knew that. So a lot of folks, like the 38D, actually held on to the 31Ss when they came across them. All right, so a lot of really nice mid-state coins out there. I actually owned a 65 at one point, probably like a month or two ago, and it sold real quick. This is a very popular date right here, even though it's in the 30s. This time we're talking about a PCGS Midstate 66 Plus. Very nice grade. And this one sold for $1,753.88. I would say for a coin that has the second lowest mintage, this coin I don't think has gotten its full 100% due. This one is a little bit underrated today. Here's a 1926. Now we're talking about a Philadelphia mint. Some would say it's a little bit easier to obtain, in mid-state condition and raw. And, I've actually seen a few of them out there. This one is a PCGS Midstate 66. Again, CAC certified as well, which makes a huge difference auditing the original grade choice. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $1,462.50. I love the natural coloring on this coin. It's just really beautiful. All right, well, here's the one we're all here to see. This thing is Waren Slick, and it's a little bit beat up. I mean, take a look at the reverse. You'll see a few little, deep digs and marks in there, which ironically did not affect the actual grade any. It didn't come back a details grade. And, because of how low ballish it is, it's okay. They're willing to make concessions for things like that. So if you had a similar coin that's not acid dipped or things like that, which a lot of people do to find this coin, I'm going to tell you this right now. You notice it says doubled die obverse and it has a date. So how do you know when there's no date? Now, we talked about this one before, folks. It's actually one of my most popular viewed videos. But take a look at the feathers right there. They're doubled. All right, they're the same doubling that's on a much nicer graded 1916 doubled die obverse. Now we're talking about the FS 101 here. So if there's no date, take a look at those feathers. If they got the doubling, you got the coin. All right, the FS 101. There's not another variety in the or doubled die for that matter in the Buffalo Nickel. I was going to say the 1900s Buffalo Nickels, but they're all from the 1900s. If you found this one with the doubled feathers, congrats. That is indeed the 16 FS 101. So even in this grade, shocking, $2,255.62. I mean, come on. How much could it possibly cost to buy a buttload of dateless Buffalo Nickels, right? Those things sell for like 15 cents a piece. They're a dime. No, they're not a dime a dozen. I think I meant that metaphorically regarding to the availability of just bulk dateless coins like this. It could offer such huge dividends, a huge treasure hunting possibility, and there's a lot of these exist out there today. So keep in mind the dollar figure that this one sold for, and you might be able to do something with this, right? It's like making lemonade with a bunch of lemons. Now we're on to dimes. And we had some really beautiful Mercury dimes today. No Roosevelts, it's quiet on the Roosevelt front. 1945S, you can notice that this is not the micro S variety. This is just a standard 45S. PCGS graded this one as a 67 plus with full bands. Also got the CAC crossover grade there. Beautiful coin. And this one sold for $1,567.12. She is a crusty one, but this is a pretty big variety. 1942 over 1 Denver. All right, so it's not as attractive as the 42 over 1 Philly, but it is comparatively more scarce. All right, and that's the big reason why we see a drastic price difference, even though one looks more impressive over the other. How about a 63 full bands on the grade here? CAC certified as well. The toning is just crusty, and you're either all for it or you're not. All right, but it's the originality that pushes this one over the edge. This one sold for $8,166.38. Going to, I would imagine, just a really nice collection. 1934, again, a date that is obtainable in nice grades and raw. PCGS graded a 68 full bands this time around. And it's got that nice kind of foggy skin to it, right? This is a coin that tells you, hey, I've never been dipped, all right? I'm all original. And again, collectors gravitate toward these. This particular one here sold for $2,077.38. Just a natural beauty here. And 1924, another one that isn't particularly rare in Midstate, but finding one that has virtually no contact marks or planchet nicks is quite tough. Now this one right here, Midstate 67 with full bands, it's got superb above average luster. I would say it's probably got great luster, so we put that above the above average kind of level here. 67 full bands. It's spectacular, and a lot of them are, unless they're a little bit circulated. So this one sold for $3,758.62. And we also have this one, the key date, guys, right? This one is a 16D in VF30. It's in a original green holder. So it's an older grade. It looks every bit the part of a VF30, just a really nice, acceptable market piece. One in which that if you bought it today, wait 5 years, you probably end up making $1,000 off of it because they're just so desirable. The mintages are very low. Survival rate is non-existent on these. A lot of them were Waren Slick. This one right here sold for $5,414.62. This is just overall a great commodity to keep if you're just getting into the game and you got some disposable income to boot. All right, we're going to finish things off here with a couple quarters and one $50. All right, so we got a 55 proof Washington here. It says something when the mirrored fields reflect the frost off of Washington. Look how insane this is. I have to give props to the Great Collections photography team for taking this photo. This thing is nuts. All right. You also see it on the reverse too. Check out the left wing of the eagle there. Again, deep cameo contrast is quite rare on these, where you just don't have the frost. You don't have the black kind of really watery mirrored fields. How about a Proof 68 deep cameo? I mean, that's the kind of like the low basement level of the grade you want. These do exist, I believe, in 69, so that's the high watermark for this one. $1,465.33. Cherry pick some of these earlier dated proof sets for some massive gold in them. And then when you do come across it, it's to make you smile. Here's a 1950D, kind of like that 34 Mercury dime we looked at. This one has that foggy, thick skin to it, right? Again, never been cleaned. A little bit obverse toning there. Very subtle. Nothing that would offend me for sure. The thick skin might offend some folks into actually wanting to dip this. Word to the wise, you might want to not do that because it will affect the value. $1,690.88 on this one. Again, very good looking coin there. And the last quarter, how about a crusty 1930s Standing Liberty quarter? Again, it's a very available date, but it's got their originality. It's got the nice strike on there. That's why PCGS granted a full head designation on there. 67 plus. I'm sure a little bit has to do with the toning. CAC green bean as well. I'm just proud to talk about this one on this week's MMR. $11,812.50. Standing Liberty quarters are trending up today. And then finally, we're going to end it off on this mysterious coin. Now, we highlighted one of these, a month ago? Somewhere around there. Same grade level. I mean, shoot. 1976 Bicentennial Kennedy S-Mint, 40% silver. PCGS gave this one to Midstate 69. And look out in those collections. These only came in the 3-coin set from the U.S. Mint. And a lot of them are high grades, okay? At this point, you got to look at the trivial things, right? You got to look at carbon spotting. You got to look at a nick here or there on Kennedy's jaw or neckline or on the reverse on the bell tower. Things like that. Things that would detract from a much higher grade. This one is 69. That's damn near perfect. And it sold for $7,031.25, making it one of the absolute craziest asinine sale prices of the week. And we got to give it up to Mr. Kennedy here. Always a fascinating man with a lot of history, and got to hang out with Marilyn Monroe. So there is that. So that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. Videos for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go out and grade these things. Again, you got to collect responsibly. You got to grade responsibly. You know, you got to spend money for the services involved. But overall, we had a lot of fun, guys. Glad to be back. Welcome back to the video streams. I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe today to my content, to this video, if you haven't done so already. I'm waiting for you to hit the subscribe button. So what are you waiting for? And that's it. I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful Monday. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening. I look forward to talking to you guys real soon about more coin stuff and the market. You guys take care and have a good night.